welcome aboard the Skunk Train. My name is Matthew, and I will be your conductor today. The engineer is Adam. The concessionaire is Isabel. Isabel has light snacks, soft drinks, popcorn, and adult beverages. Also on board the train today for your entertainment is Malachi, the singing conductor. Just a few comfort and safety items before we get too far down the line. There are restrooms on board the train. If you're in the rear coach, it's all the way in the back. If you're in the front coach, it's all the way in the front. Once you're finished, please close the lid and hold down the little black button to flush. There is no smoking allowed on this train, and that does include all vapor smoking devices. Your next smoking destination will be Crowley in approximately 45 minutes. That is yellow to yellow, and avoid stepping in the area in between. And just a word of advice, please resist the temptation to reach out and grab the vegetation along the line, as nearly all of it is blackberries and poison oak. You don't want a handful of either. From time to time, I will be pointing out some natural wonders as well as some points of historical interest. However, if anyone has any questions at any time, please do feel free to ask. Also, you're welcome out to the open car at any point during this trip. And once again, welcome aboard. A nonprofit organization that restores, maintains, and operates one of the largest collections of steam-powered equipment on the West Coast. You can take a ride on a vintage 1930s locomotive and see the very last operational steam shovel in North America. The Roots of Motive Power is located just 1 block to the east of the Skunk Train depot. And just a fun fact, that steam locomotive on your left is known as a 262 Prairie, built in 1907. It was once owned by the Western singer-actor Gene Autry and was stored in his personal western town of Melody Ranch. Pacific Main Line before the completion of the tunnel. All of the timber that was harvested in the Noyo River Valley was taken by rail back to the city of Fort Bragg, where it was shipped out on steamship excavators to the San Francisco Bay Area. Nearly 70% of the original construction, the original lumber for the construction of San Francisco was redwood out of this forest. At this time, I would invite you out to the open car to enjoy the experience of the tunnel. Beginning in the year 1885, it took nearly 26 years to complete the line between Fort Bragg and Willits. As the railroad pushed further to the east in search of bigger logs, small towns and camps sprung up along the line, increasing the need for faster service. The owner of the railroad purchased several rail buses, which ran on a leaded gasoline engine and had a pot-belly stove that burned crude oil to keep passengers warm. The combination of the two chimneys would mix together to form a very pungent aroma, which would then be blown by the ocean breeze up the canyon, prompting the people who lived along the line to say you can smell it before you see it, just like a skunk. From this point at summit to the valley floor, it takes 8.5 miles of railroad track to travel a straight line distance of only 1.5 miles as the crow flies. With 381 curves, 39 bridges and trestles over a 40-mile stretch, the California Western Railroad is considered one of the quickest railroads in the world. Once again, please keep your entire body inside as the walls of the tunnel are extremely close. Fort Bragg. When the settlers came to this area, they transferred the Noyo name to the larger stream to what we have come to call the Noyo River. Originally, the Native Americans called this river Vida. The Noyo River itself winds over 40 miles through the canyon where it comes out in the city of Fort Bragg at the Noyo Harbor. It is a protected salmon and steelhead spawning river and has been closed to commercial fishing since the 1970s. There is an incredible variety of trees that grow in this valley. This, of course, includes the coastal redwood. The coastal redwood is the state tree of California. It's also the tallest tree in the world, reaching heights of over 400 feet and more than 25 feet across the base. The tallest known living example is located in the city of Eureka, known as the Hyperion tree. It is 381 feet tall and 5.5 inches to be exact. More than 95% of all coastal redwoods grow from an existing root system. When a redwood tree falls down or is cut down, the roots immediately begin producing new trees, growing as fast as 10 feet in a single year. In many areas, you'll notice a redwood stump surrounded by a circle of smaller redwood trees. This is known as a fairy ring. It is actually the original tree that has cloned itself from its own roots. A mature coastal redwood can take in as much as 300 gallons of water in a single day, both from the roots and the needles in the upper canopy, which absorb water directly from the bog.